What's up guys, Duarte here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to take a look at another Alliance Wars counter. This time we have the Symbiotes plus Ultimus against the Marauders with Emma Frost. And the reason why we have Ultimus on the Symbiotes team is because usually Carnage does not provide much, at least based on my own experience when we are doing this counter against the Marauders. And with Ultimus we have a way easier time getting rid of Strife and then attacking the clone and focusing on the other characters that we have to prioritize in order to counter the Marauders on Alliance Wars defense. So if you like the information on this video, like always, share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content and make sure you smash that like button. Okay, so let's get started. Let's take a look at the stats of my team, which T4s I have, which isoids and so on. And then let's take a look at the clip of this team in action. Okay, so taking a look at my team, we have Scream at 7 yellow stars, we have Anti-Venom at 5 yellow stars, we have Ultimus at 7 yellow stars, and everyone else at 7 yellow stars. Then we have 5 red across the board, except for Symbiote Spider-Man, he has 6 red stars. And on this specific match, in terms of isoid, I was using Striker on Scream. I like to use Striker on her because she removes positive effects from the enemies when she does the additional attack. Plus she has very high base damage, and whenever she does an additional attack, she also applies bleed. So all these bleeds will be with very high base damage. And this is the reason why I have Skirmisher on Anti-Venom. It's because his base damage is very low. So the benefits that he does, or the bleeds that he applies to the enemies, are not going to be very relevant. And many times with his basic he applies slow and defense down, so from there you are not taking any benefits out of the Striker. You are playing negative effects that are not based on base damage, so therefore I have a Skirmisher on him. On Ultimus I have Striker. He has very high base damage and it benefits a lot all of his abilities. On the Symbiote Spider-Man I have Skirmisher. While he has a very high base damage and he applies bleeds with his special ability, I think it just doesn't provide enough because you do the additional attack and it always does defense down, not bleeds, so it's quite irrelevant for him. So Skirmisher is the way to go for him. And then with Venom I have a Striker because he can flip the positive effects on the enemies with his basic. So that allows for some interesting combos when you use the special or ultimate with Venom. So other options, you could use Anti-Venom as a healer, or you can use several of them as a healer, but I think like this is the best against this specific team in order to remove all the positive effects that they have and take the control of the fight. Now in terms of T4s, I like to have the T4s on the basic and the ultimate from Scream. It allows to have 2 turns of slow and do more damage with the bleeds. You can also do the special and the ultimate. There are only very few situations, or like Red Nose or something like this, where this ability becomes relevant, but otherwise you can ignore for this specific counter. Then for Anti-Venom you should do the special and the ultimate. You can also do the passive. The basic is not important for this specific matchup. It's still good, but it's not very relevant. And for me the most important ones are the special and the ultimate. Then I would prioritize the passive and then the basic, once again for this specific matchup. On Ultimus I like all of the T4s. All of them are very good. All of them have unique abilities, like this one that allows to mind control the enemies. The special allows to steal all positive effects from the enemies, which is very important for this specific matchup. This one doesn't have any special effect, but it increases the damage quite a lot, and it's very relevant when we are facing Strife to get rid of him as fast as possible. And the least relevant for this matchup is the passive, so if you want to ignore this one, you can do it. It's not so relevant even outside of this matchup. Then with the Symbiote Spider-Man, I like all of them. The most relevant are the passive, the ultimate, and the special. The basic is not so relevant, and that's pretty much it. And then in terms of Venom, none of his T4s are quite relevant. The special is okay to do a little bit more damage, but that's pretty much it. The ultimate, it's okay, whatever, and the passive is not bad, but it's not anything crazy either. It just allows you to to have a higher chance of getting the defense up passive, but usually it's not a huge deal. So we have 3 characters at gear tier 15, and we have 2 characters at gear tier 14. This compares to the enemy team that they have 3 characters also at gear tier 15, and then 1 character at gear tier 14, which is Strife, and then Mystique. So with the ISO weights and the T4s and everything in mind, let's take a look at the matchup and see how it went and which characters we have to prioritize. Okay, so as you guys can see, we have a minor punch down. It's less than 10%, and this is late game. I have no buffs on my team, and they have no buffs either. And for teams that apply negative effects and apply bleeds, it's more they are a little bit stronger late game when the enemies have no buffs and so on. And usually when you see a Marauders team, they have a very weak Strife, and it's easy to get through him and then win the match, but this is not the case. And as you guys can see, they have ISO weight pretty high, so it's not like this is some trash team. We have a very strong Mr. Sinister, Sabretooth, and Emma Frost, and the Strife very strong as well. With the ISO weight Fortifier is not the one I would recommend, but it's not terrible either. So let's take a look at the match and see how it goes. We have Ultimus in the middle, and you want to decide if you want to put Anti-Venom in the corner rather than Scream. It depends on how much yellow stars you have and so on. So here I should have changed it. At this point I already had the Scream at 7 yellow stars, so it would be a little bit better to have her in the middle rather than Anti-Venom. Okay, so you'll see that I have tried this team before with Carnage, and it's just not consistent enough. And this is why I decided to try Ultimus, and it feels pretty nice using him. So as you can see, he removed all the buffs from Strife, apply defense down to him, and remove the down. Now we didn't take advantage of that, but that's fine. We still want to do damage to him, try to get rid of him. He has all that high armor, the flags, and so on. We need to get rid of all of that. Just keep shipping him away. And then you want to apply the immunity just to make sure that you don't get any bleeds from Sabretooth. Now we got the clone. They cloned Ultimus. Ultimus is a problematic clone, but it's not a huge deal. We can deal with him. The problem is that he can steal the positive effects from us, and that's pretty much it. So here we had a chance to ability block Mr. Sinister. This is what you want to do, so he is not able to share the positive effects with everyone else, and gives you enough time to deal with him before he can do that again. So here we have mind control on Scream. She gets destroyed, so we have to revive her. We have blind on the Symbiote Spider-Man, so this is quite a problematic. We go after Mr. Sinister, even that is irrelevant. So now we use the ultimate. We heal up everyone and apply some positive effects. We got lucky, we got the dodge positive effect. We have all those regenerations, and they keep attack anti-venom. We have to remember that anti-venom is very low in terms of yellow stars, 5 red, 5 yellow. This is why it takes so much damage. But now we have defense up on all our symbiotes, so we can keep focusing on Mr. Sinister. So before you apply the ability block, he didn't share any of the positive effects. Now we can apply the stun. I decided to stun Emma Frost instead, because this will apply slow to Mr. Sinister, and we can focus on him a little bit to make sure he doesn't do anything funny. So Emma Frost, she is slow. Now with Ultimus we can target everyone and steal all the positive effects from them, and this is why this team works so much better. So even if you don't use the stun on Mr. Sinister, he will not have many positive effects to spread. So he spread the regeneration, he spread the offense up. Of course that's problematic, but it's better than spreading immunity, dodge, and everything else like that. So we keep focusing on Strife. We still have to get rid of him. Now he has defense down, so he's going to take tons of damage now. We have Venom. If he has the Striker, which he has, he did the double attack, so he flipped all those positive effects away. Scream comes with her ultimate, applying 2 turns slow to Mr. Sinister. This will give us plenty of time to get rid of Strife and of Mr. Sinister. The ability from Scream, it also does turn rewind, so that's massive, gives us huge advantage. So we will continue with the slow and also with this disrupt. The disrupt will guarantee that even if Strife gives Mr. Sinister energy, we'll be able to prevent them from sharing positive effects. So Strife once again has a taunt, we can ship him away, he still has the taunt. We can attack Mystique because Scream can attack targets in stealth. So now we'll up Scream a little bit. Now Ultimus with his basic, he can mind control other enemies, and the effects of those enemies will be applied to the target. So for example, if Emma Frost attacks Strife from the mind control, she can also flip positive effects on him, so he's very strong compared to the effects that Carnage does to this team. So as you guys can see, Ultimus is a great option for this team. The mind controls are just quite amazing, and the fact that you can steal the positive effects and focus on Strife so hard with the ultimate. You just have to decide, maybe I use the ultimate on first turn, maybe if I save it for the second turn or third turn, maybe it will better, because you'll have more positive effects. So here we have some negative effects, that's fine. If we had a T4 on anti-venom passive, most of them would be removed. Mystique is using her special once again. We keep focusing on Mr. Sinister, and now we should get rid of Ultimus. That will guarantee us speed up. So now we are going to destroy Mr. Sinister. We already have the special with Venom once again. So now he's locked up, he cannot do anything. Once again, Venom with the second attack applies more negative effects, so Mr. Sinister is down, and now we have Emma Frost, Sabretooth and Mystique. You should not ignore completely Emma Frost if she is on diamond form, because you cannot do anything to her. Just focus on doing damage to the other targets. And here I didn't have to use the special, I could use the basic with the Symbiote Spider-Man and it would be fine. Because you always want to do the ultimate and then the special, so you can apply 2 turns of stun rather than 1 turn. And now Venom applying some bleeds to Mystique. This is rare because she has resistance to bleed, but with the ISO 8 attack it so happens a few times. So now we do the stun on Emma Frost outside of the diamond form, and it's pretty much it. There is nothing that she can do, she cannot get out of this stun. We use the mind control from Ultimus once again to force Mystique to attack Emma Frost. And she's very slow. Now we're going to use the ultimate, apply tons of buffs to our team. And now with the speed up and everything else, we just get rid of the team. And yeah, so as you can see, we were never at a huge danger or anything. And I find this team a lot more consistent than with using Carnage. And with Ultimus now being able to go up to 7 red stars, I think it's a great use for him. Even that he doesn't have many places where to be used in the game, like Doom Raids or Dark Dimension 4 or so on, is not very useful there, but you can use him on Arena in specific situations. And as you can see, in Alliance Wars he's pretty good. On defense he doesn't do much, but on attack he can change and make some teams a lot better, like the power armor and now, as you can see, the symbiotes. Okay guys, that's going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed another Alliance Wars counter, the symbiotes with Ultimus against the Marauders with Emma Frost. If you like this video, you know what to do. Smash that like button like a boss, and if you found the information helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I'll catch you guys later.